everyone, hope you're well, hope you're getting good luck pulling this guy. Taair, I call him the procrastinator because he has so many skills he doesn't know which one to use. I don't have much for pity, everything's maxed out. So yeah, let's just go ahead and pull for this guy. See what we get. So there's our first 10, we got nothing, I'll just skip. Nothing there. Usually I get lucky on the world, but nothing now. Oh, it's looking bad already. I think we're on 40 now. Still nothing. It's gonna be a brutal one. Nothing again. Man. Going on pity for this guy is going to be a little rough. It's just one of those days. Haha. I have a feeling we're gonna hit the random pity, which is at 100 summons. So yeah, I'm 20 away from that. Just no luck at all today. Let's see if we can get something. Isn't this the random pity already? Let me just check again. Oh, sorry, I was looking up there. 10 more away from the random. So now we're gonna hit pity on the random. Okay, so we'll get something here. Interesting to see what we get. It comes last, I think. Gloria! So I've actually maxed out my Gloria, which means I'm gonna get a lot of memory crystals. 50 memory crystals off of that. Okay, so I might hit hard pity on this guy. Let's see. I'm hoping I don't have to go all the way. Yeah. Kidding me, man. Gonna blow all my luck sites and go all the way to pity for this guy. Okay, I don't think this is pity. We got something here. Let's see. Okay.
真理を追い求めることに人生を費やす人もいれば、檻から出られずに一生を終える人もいる。これは運命の選択かもしれない。我が友よ、知っているかい？君が僕の前に現れてから、未来には別の可能性があるんじゃないかって期待するようになったんだ。
So, with you in front of me, I see many possibilities for the future, is what this guy is saying. And that was quite intense. But we have something left over, which I'm glad about. Okay, I still have 10,000 left. So I didn't have to go all the way to hard pity. But yeah, we got the guy now. I'm glad with that. And we're gonna take a look at him now. And there's a lot to look at with this guy. So, where is he? Let's just see. There he is. So I'm gonna start with his trait, Historian. At the start of the turn, Taair discovers one scroll on a random empty tile within 3 tiles of himself. Upon picking it up, he gains 1 stack of knowledge, and then gains 1 random level 2 buff, lasting for 2 turns. He and can move an additional 3 tiles. For every 2 stacks of knowledge, he can use historical skills 1 time. Taair's knowledge stack max at 2. He gains 1 stack of knowledge at the start of the battle. When casting healing and supporting skills, Taair's maximum range is increased by 1 tile. Upon casting the skill, he additionally heals the target 15% magical attack. Okay. So he gets these scrolls that spawn around him, and he can pick them up and gain 1 stack of knowledge. And if an enemy steps on the scroll, they can break the scroll. So he gains that knowledge. He also gains a level 2 buff when he steps on that scroll, a random one out of these buffs. And if you get 2 stacks of knowledge, then he can use his historical skills, and he's got 3 of these. So Historical Truth is an instant, inflicts move down 2 and vulnerability 2 on an enemy for 2 rounds. He can also learn from the past. Instant dispels 2 debuffs for all allies within 2 tile range of the target. Additionally recovers HP equal to 30% of magic attack. Hero's Epic instant grants the target ally damage plus 2 and damage reduction 2 for 2 rounds. Additionally recovers HP equal to 50% of magic attack. Okay, it's not too complicated here. Pretty simple the way his skills work. The complexity comes when you have to actually be in game and select one of these skills. That's why I call this guy the procrastinator, because you have a lot of options, and you have so many options you don't know what to do. So that's it for his trait, and then we can see how his trait evolves over time. So we're starting at 1 star, and if we go to 2 stars, let's see how that changes. So at the start of the turn, Taair discovers 1 scroll within 3 tiles of himself, picks it up, gain 1 stack of knowledge, and gains 1 level 2 buff for 2 turns, and he can move additional 3 tiles. For every 2 stacks of knowledge, he can use historical skills. His knowledge stacks max at 2. He gains 1 stack of knowledge at the start of the battle. Okay, and then at 2 stars, let's see how it changes. The effect is improved to knowledge stacks max at 4. So now at star 2, he can have a maximum of 4 stacks of knowledge. He gains 2 stacks of knowledge at the start of the battle. So 1 more stack. When casting healing and supporting skills, maximum range increased by 1 tile. That stays the same. Upon casting the skill, he additionally heals the target for 20% instead of 15% magic attack. So there's a big buff already if you go to 2 stars. And you do want to get to 2 stars as soon as possible with this guy, because 1 star is really... You won't be able to use historical skills easily at 1 star. But at 2 stars, you can already start using it quite easily. Let's see what happens at 3 stars. So yeah, at 3 stars, he gains 3 stacks of knowledge. With movement increased by 1 tile. So that's new. He gets increase of movement by 1 tile. Okay, and then at 4 stars, his knowledge stacks max at 6. He gains 4 stacks of knowledge. And then he can heal the target by 25% magic attack, increase from 20%. At 5 stars, he gains 5 stacks of knowledge and increase his skills range by 2 tiles. Okay. It's kind of worded weirdly. At the start of the turn, he also gains 1 stack of knowledge. Isn't that at star 1 as well? Okay, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's just at 5 stars, I think, you get an extra stack of knowledge at the start of the turn. Okay, so that's how his trait evolves. Now we got to look at the skills. He doesn't come with any skills. So if we rank this guy up, let me just go up to level 60. So at rank 1, okay, so at rank 1 he can choose between 2 support skills. So we have on the left, Seed of Wisdom support. Taair dispels 1 debuff from all allies within 2 tiles around the target, granting them +2 speed and meditation for 2 turns. So he has speed control, increase your speed by 100, which is really neat. That's one thing I like about Taair, is he's unique. He's a unique character for my team because he does speed control and everything else as well. So meditation restores 1 energy at the start of the turn, and then on the right we can choose 1000 Mile Echo. Support restores 4 energy to the target ally and grants attack up 2, move up 2, and speed 2 for 2 turns. So it's very difficult to choose between these two. Okay, and then at rank 3, we have a passive on the left. For each end of the turn, heals the ally with the lowest HP within 3 tiles around the character by 20% magic attack. So that's a nice healers passive like Coco or Inanna. He's got that too. And then he can have also on the right support instant. Select 1 ally target, then restore 1 energy to all allies within 3 tiles around the target. The character cannot be targeted. That's another cool ability over there. So he just has so many tools. Almost you could argue too many tools, because it's hard to choose between them. Then for his reaction, pacifism. Before being attacked, it dispels 2 buffs from the attacker and decrease the damage dealt by 20%. Very nice. Heart of Forbearance is a reaction with a cooldown of 3 turns. Damage over time is reduced by 50% at the end of the turn. If the character is affected by control effects, remove all control effects and gains bound immunity for 2 turns. Nice and situational. Books increase knowledge. So for this rank, he has Campfire Night Talks. There's a lot going on here, and we haven't even gotten into his, what is it, his historical skills, which is part of his trait, and yeah, we'll see that in a bit. Campfire, Night Talks, Healing, Inflict Sleep, and Tipsy. On Tipsy is where you increase crit by 30% and decrease damage taken by 10%, which can be stacked. So Inflicts Sleep and Tipsy on Taair and all characters within 2 tiles for 1 turn. Recovers 60% HP and dispels 3 debuffs from Taair. So that's also quite strong. Although you do put your allies and yourself to sleep. Flagellant passive gains 1 stack of penance. After taking damage, each stack decreases damage taken by 8%. This effect cannot be dispelled. Additionally, recovers 1 energy if the character has penance. So more energy restoration there as well. And then his basic attacks. You maybe want to be more focused on what bonus it's giving you up there. Defense or HP, but basic attack deals damage and then increases healing of the next skill. And then he has Dispelling Strike, which dispels 2 debuffs. Not too much to talk about there. And then we go to rank 11, which is Divine Healing. Single target healing, heals the target for 60% of magic attack and additionally heals all allies within 3 tiles around that target for 30% of the character's magic attack. So a nice big heal if you're playing Taair as your healer. And then he has Caged Reverie support. Taair gains Caged Reverie for 2 turns. And what does this do? It's an aura, increases damage and piercing damage by 15% for all allies within 3 tiles, allows them to share the damage taken, and grants them immunity to attribute debuffs. At the end of the action, recovers 15% of HP. This effect cannot be immunized or dispelled. So he gains an aura, which gives us all these buffs for his allies and himself. And they share damage taken, but there is a catch. So the aura itself, the Caged Reverie aura, is only going to last for 2 turns, and it's also got a massive cooldown of 7 turns, but it's still a very powerful skill. Yeah, so these are his skills, and in terms of items, and after items, we're going to take a look at him in battle, because that's where you can really see the kind of complexity this guy brings to your battles. So I'm just going to take a quick look at what I would do for items. And I think I would go for this reorganization cube. You know, just increase your healing by 15% if you have 5 stars when using a skill on an ally, and he's using skills on allies a lot, and you also dispel a extra debuff from the reorganization cube. I can't think of anything else right now that I would want to use. He's not really trying to do damage on enemies, so increasing magic attack is not such a priority. Although magic attack does increase his healing, you just get the most healing from reorganization cube. Yeah, for the extra healing effect. And then we have for his trinket. So Taair moves, and he moves a lot. He moves and then he acts, so you want to have an item that allows him to reactivate and move and reposition and activate. And then so you have a number of items like the Prairie Fire and then Disaster Bottle. So there's a number of items that can do that. What what would I give him? I mean, I'm thinking maybe something like Spring Pill would be nice. Roaring Flint is just so rare. I don't really have one for him. Or a disaster bottle or something could also be good. So basically a nice item that can... yeah, I'm just thinking off the top of my mind. So these aren't exactly the best items you can give him. And then for his tarot, what would I give him? Maybe Mercy of the High Priestess, increase healing effect by 15%. To make him heal even more. If you want him to be a pure healer, I would go for this route. Yeah, if you want him doing a lot of healing. You can also use the Elegance of the Empress. After casting a skill, an ally convert one debuff on the target into one buff. So you could do that as well. I think that's kind of what I would go for in terms of items. Something like that. But again, that's not... it's probably not the best items. I'm just going off the top of my mind. And then in the character trial, I think we can look at how he plays live in action. And this Taair will also be a higher star level. So I'm just gonna skip this. Okay, so there's the scroll that spawns. And let's just take a look at this Taair quickly. So yeah. He's maxed out 5 stars. So he has 6 knowledge. And when you have this knowledge, enables you to use historical skills. So now he can use his historical skills, which is not included in his normal skill slots. So that's what makes him so crazy. I mean, if we look at him now, let's just go back there. So he still has, you can choose from all of those skills we just looked at. You can choose some nice skills there already, and then plus the historical skills. So let me just first move on to this scroll. Oh, actually he has so many stacks of knowledge. I don't need to move on the scroll. So I'm just going to use Learn from the Past, which is, it's going to dispel 2 debuffs on these guys and heals them for 30% of magic attack. Okay. And then he has Seed of Wisdom as well, which dispels 1 debuff for all allies. Or it's just so much. Dispels 1 debuff for allies within range and grants them speed 2 and the meditation. Right, and then he also has... Okay, so that's his that's his regular skill, and then over here you can select his historical skills. And so it's Hero's Epic is an instant, grants damage 2 and damage reduction 2 and target and heals allies with 50% HP. Right, and then we have another one, which is Historical Truth, inflicts move down 2 and vulnerable 2 on the target. These are all instants. Learn from the Past dispels 2 debuffs from all allies within range and heals them for 30% of magic attack. That's the one we just used now. And yeah, so we consumed 2 historical skills to use that one, and now he has 4 historical skills left. So I guess I'll move on this scroll. and use instant grants damage 2, damage reduction 2 to the target, and heals them. So I'll give this guy this buff to increase his attack. Okay, this is only for one enemy, one ally. So I'll give it to this guy over here. We'll buff him up, heal him, and we can still keep going. As long as he has these, knowledge stacks. Now I'm gonna inflict move down 2 and vulnerable 2 on this guy because he's quite strong. Okay, so we're down to 1 stack of knowledge, so we can no longer use, it says there requires 2 stacks of knowledge. We can no longer use his historical skills. And you can see there's only one. This is a regular skill, but this Taair doesn't even have other skills equipped to him. So if you're playing him, you'll have another 2 extra normal skills. It's just crazy how many skills he has. This is what makes him just on another planet altogether from other characters, even other support characters. It makes him very unique. He just has a lot of options and he gets to do a lot of things. So now I'm going to use a regular skill. Seed of Wisdom dispels 1 debuff for all allies within range and grants them speed up 2 and meditation. So now I'm going to give everybody more speed so they can move earlier. This will end his turn finally. Okay, they're acting on their own. My allies. So this guy's taking more damage now. He's also dealing less damage because we debuffed him. I'm just gonna skip this. Okay, so there's another scroll that spawned there now. And how much knowledge does he have now? He's got 2 knowledge, so he gains 1 stack of knowledge at every turn. I think I read that correctly because he's at 5 stars. So I'll move here. That will give him 3 stacks of knowledge. So now you see, this is where if you have a 1-star Taair, it's important to note that you wouldn't be able to on your first turn move to this scroll and then use an historical skill, because at 1 star you only have 1 stack of knowledge. Even though this one will give you an extra stack, you have to first end your move on this scroll to receive the scroll. Then you can use an historical skill. That's why it's so important to get to 2 stars quickly, because then you'll start off with 2. I think you'll start off with 2 stacks and you can immediately use one of these on your first turn. Alternatively, I think you could just, I mean, I haven't played him, but you could just use an item like Disaster Bottle on this scroll on an enemy. Then he will basically end his move on the scroll, receive the scroll, then he'll be at 2 stacks, and then you can use a historical skill. So I hope I'm explaining that correctly. I'm sorry, this is the first time I'm playing him. And yeah, so in this case we already have 2 stacks of knowledge, so we can immediately use this historical skill. Okay, he now has the skill Cage Reverie. I'm not sure why it came up now. This is his rank 11 skill. But he's got that now. But first I'm gonna use one of these historical skills to heal us up. This guy needs a heal, so we'll increase his damage as well and heal him. And we ended our move now, which means he picked up the scroll, so he's now back to... Okay, now he has 1 knowledge, so we can't use a historical skill here. Should I use Cage Reverie? It has a 7-turn cooldown. Yeah, I think we're gonna need it for these guys. So now we'll give him this aura for 2 turns. So we're gonna share damage between ourselves and get a number of buffs as well. Now I can use Ruia, that's interesting. Okay, let me move up here to these boulders. Now let me just kill this guy. Okay, yeah, these guys can move nicely, so there's a boulder there we can use. Yeah, so I didn't need to use Cage Reverie here, actually. It was a waste. Because we have these boulders. Okay, there we have a new scroll that spawned. We should be at 2 stacks now because at 5 stars you gain 1 stack. So I want to move here to get another one. So yeah, judging from this, it looks like if you're at 5 stars, you can use an historical skill every turn as long as you move to a scroll. Okay, so I understand. I think I understand what's going on with this trial. They just keep giving us skills every turn. Is it? It's weird. It's weird the way this is working. But, yeah, we have 1 enemy here. We don't need an historical skill now, do we? So I'm just gonna basic attack this guy. Pick up the scroll. We are sharing damage, you can see there. Okay, and unfortunately those guys moved. Bring him behind. So yeah, I think our caged bird ability. Oh, we still have it for 1 turn. Okay, so that aura is still activated. Alright, I'm not gonna reach that scroll. So I'm not gonna go for that because I want to stay close to my allies. If possible. But we do need a heal now. So I'll dispel these debuffs that she's giving us and then heal us a little bit. Okay, everyone's nice and healed. We still have another stack of 2 stacks of knowledge, so we can use another historical skill. Which I'm gonna use to... I'm gonna use on Rowea. I do apologize, I am quite slow on this. Still figuring out this. So I'll buff up Rowea. She is a breaker. And then I will... now I think I'll move closer to that scroll. Okay, so now I'm gonna use a regular skill. And buff up our archer over there. And speed, attack up, speed up. I might hurt Taair, yeah. That's fine. So yeah, this is... I think this is how like you should kind of approach the year. And he's just repositioning, picking up these scrolls. Also trying to stay near his allies. And yeah, so you do gain movement after you pick up a scroll, I think. And so now we can move. There's 2 scrolls. You can move to that scroll. Pick that one up. And now you should be stacked with knowledge. Got 3 stacks now. Let's move him away in safety. Thank you for your service. Okay, so that's Taair in a nutshell. I'm still figuring it out, so yeah. Anyway, I want to say thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.